Good afternoon, guys. I will start this stream in 1 minute. I'll just grab some water and then I will start. So give me a second here. So now we are ready. Alright, so today we're discussing unfilled opening range gaps. Not only on NQ, but on ES and YM as well. So we will see the correlation at these three indices of the unfilled opening range gaps, because I have only now started, like, I think it is almost 1 or 2 years ago that I backtested that. But I never backtested the correlation between the opening range gaps on all the three indices. So I will look at that today, and as well we will look at the unfilled opening range gaps of last year, February, March, and April, when we had a big dump to the downside. So I expect us to not fill the unfilled opening range gaps if we have a big dump to the downside. So yeah, this is what we're going to look at today. So let's open up ES and YM as well. Also, guys, if you have any questions during the live stream, feel free to ask. This is an interactive live stream where I'll also answer questions. So I hope it's not going to be like the last one where we streamed for 2 hours, where I thought I only streamed for 1 hour, but yeah, who knows. So we will have these three indices on the chart, and we will go to the regular trading hours, and I will explain a little bit what I mean with the unfilled opening range gaps. And also, guys, I will make a series out of this, like out of the live backtesting, because I've backtested a lot in the past, but there's still multiple things I want to backtest. So I guess that's a nice opportunity, also not only to backtest by myself, but also to share the backtesting with you, because I know backtesting is not a fun thing to do, at least for me. I don't know for you guys, but yeah, 2 hours of dedicated backtesting does a lot, so I hope it helps you. Yeah, so we will go actually on higher time frames that we can see the chart better. Yeah. Or let's actually no, that should be fine. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's do that on the 15-minute time frame. So I have to check one more thing. yeah. So now you should see the screen again. Sorry for that. Okay. So now okay. I guess we will just draw out the previous, let's say, 30 unfilled opening range gaps, and then we will discuss what we discovered. So what I mean with the unfilled opening range gaps is, you guys know, one trading day at the regular trading hours goes from 9:30 to 4:14 p.m. So 9:30 a.m. until 4:14 p.m. So you can only trade in this time window at the regular trading hours, and after that we have a gap with, it is called the opening range gap. So I think most of you guys know. And we're very likely to fill these opening range gaps either completely at the session we're in right now or at a later point in time. So at the next day or somewhere in the next days. So yeah, let's mark them out. So we closed here at the previous day at 4 p.m. and then we opened up here at 9:30 and we only managed to close in until here. So this part right here is unfilled. So let's actually make that orange. I always have those in orange. And we will do the same here on all the other indices. Also, I always like to fix the drawings. Like, I never do it like that, because then when I move the chart, it might do this. So I'll always fix it for those that don't know, because even until today I learn new stuff on TradingView, believe it or not. Like, I don't know, I'm not the craziest TradingView master, but I have gained a lot of insights over the years. So yeah, we'll do like 30 of those. Like 30 of the unfilled opening range gaps. And we are not yeah, we'll do everything, because here we filled it in. Yeah, we'll do every unfilled opening range gap that we couldn't fill in at the day that we built, like at the day that we formed it. So that's that as well. All right. Did we manage to close that in? No, not completely. By the way, guys, how was your trading session? So also, one little tip from me is, if I'm doing these live backtesting sessions, it's really the best to do the exact same thing that I'm doing on the chart. So that's the best way for you to learn. Because if you only watch the video, yes, you're learning as well. Okay, this we're not taking. You're learning as well. But if you apply it right when we're doing this, then it sticks better. So, okay, you see, this one we're not marking out because we immediately filled it in at this day. So then we will take the next one. Yeah, this one. No trades today. How was yours? Somebody said. I actually took 2 trades, 1 stop loss and 1 take profit. But I had a second partial, like my second take profit didn't got filled. Like I only had TP1 and then got stopped out at my trailing stop loss. But still, overall pretty nice because my first partial at the second trade was at a 125 risk to reward, so that's still a W, I guess. So okay. This one we're not marking out again because we completely filled it. Yes, very nice, I think, as well. Oh wait, what? This is that opening range gap. Oh yeah, this one we filled in. That one is not filled. So also, you guys, this social media break is so good. Like, I swear it's so good. I get so much shit done since I did that social media break. Like, I finally completed the structure of the mentorship that I want to do and that I want to release on YouTube for free, of course, you know. But yeah. So that is this one. It is so weird. Oh yeah, see, here we have the first correlation where NQ filled in the opening range gap, the current opening range gap, but ES and YM didn't. You see that? Ah, okay. That's cool. Because that then was a bias for the next day, you see? But what did we do on NQ the next day? Oh wow, NQ still dropped? Where is it? That is confusing. Yeah, like that's that. No, it's down there. I'm not... Guess, am I tripping? Like there's a day missing on NQ. You see? Like if I switch to that is so weird. Like this shouldn't be here. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We start. We just continue. Like I will delete this one then. It's weird. No, I'm not tripping. Like this part is missing on NQ. Doesn't matter. We'll just continue. Alright. There we completely filled it right here. And on that one, we also filled it. Alright. That's an unfilled opening range gap. Beautiful. And here. But here did we fill it out? No, we didn't. So that's there. Yeah, it seems like that they're pretty much the same. That's what I wanted to know because I only backtested those on NQ and I wanted to really see if they are the same. Yeah, here is now the contract really getting... maybe it's because of that. Yeah, that could be the case. Because we're in the new contract, so we could switch to the old contract. But yeah, first of all, we will review that. Let's go to the 30-minute time frame. 30-minute time frame, and let's review what we have marked out so far. So yeah. Yeah. So let's start here. This one was an unfilled opening range gap, as you can see here, and we opened up the next day and we immediately started to fill it in. So we did it on NQ, we did it on ES, and we did it on YM, but as we can see here, we didn't fill it in completely at YM, so that's interesting. Yeah, maybe the continuous contract has the data, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's probably because of that. I was completely not, like, I was not aware of that. Like, I completely forgot about that. But thank you. we'll have a look at the old contract. So, and then we have this day where this is the opening range gap of this day. And on ES, it's this little one, and we filled it in to the downside completely, and then we went higher. And here as well, we filled it in and then went higher. So there we only left an unfilled opening range gap at NQ. Then the next day, yeah, that's the day that is missing. We'll have a look at the old contract if it's there. Have a look. Let's have a look at the next one. At the one of Thursday, the 12th of March. So this one. Oh, that is not exact. Like oh yeah, it is exact because this is the next day. Yeah. So there we didn't fill it in, and we couldn't fill it in on the next day on all the indices. Do you see that? Like, that's the unfilled portion of the opening range gap. Then we open up at the next day, and we didn't tap it on NQ, but we did tap it on ES and YM, and then we just dropped lower. So maybe it can also be a resistance area. I think we also did the same today. Let's have a look at today after we did that. So that's interesting. So the next day couldn't fill it, then the next day also didn't fill it, and the day after that also didn't fill it. Oh, I think that's the one unfilled opening range gap. Did we fill it in the future? I'm interested. No, we didn't fill it. Yeah, no, because we dropped since then. All right, so this is still an unfilled opening range gap on top of that. Then we have here the unfilled opening range gap of Monday. This is what I told you on the analysis on Wednesday. Yeah, yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. Where I said that we have two unfilled opening range gaps below us, and that was the one from Monday and the one from Tuesday. So yeah, but they are really draw on liquidities. We are very likely to draw to them. Yeah. And here is it what I meant with we get resistance or support at them. Like this, when we look at that when we delete this box, yesterday we couldn't fill in the opening range gap of Monday completely. Like we did it on the electronic trading hours, but not on the regular trading hours. So normally we could expect that the next day wants to at least fill out that portion like today, but we didn't. But we got resistance off of it. And also, even if we went a little bit higher today and had longs and short opportunities in today's session, it is still showing so much weakness. Like that right there is is showing so much weakness. Like, we get the resistance here. It's insane. I'm very interested on what we're going to do tomorrow. But yeah, now let's switch to the old contract on all the indices so that we can have more data. Yeah. So YM. Okay. Let's actually start at previous year, at February, because I'm very, very interested in that scenario where we just dropped. February, let's go to February. The 3rd. Okay, we can't look at that let's have a look if we can look at that on the higher time frames. If not, then I have to switch to TradeSeller. Let's see. No, that's too bad. On the 4 hour, no, that's too bad. The last available candle is March. Okay. Yeah, but we're not seeing much there. Yeah, then let's first do the unfilled opening range gaps on this contract, and then after we did that, we can switch to TradeSeller. Then we can backtest that on that platform. So then let's do the last month, should we? Or should we do another month? Like, what month are you interested in? January, February? I'll just do February. So all right. Yeah, let's start at the 2nd of February. So now we are at the 30-minute chart. Let's drop down to a lower time frame. The 15-minute chart was good, I guess. So and we will do a bit. Okay. You can open the old contract of that period by typing it in the search, like NQM 2025. It won't show anything, but if you press enter, it will load. Or you mean for the period of February and March, right? Yeah, we'll try that. Thank you for that. We'll try it after we have a look at that. So yeah, but that's a good idea. So let's have a look at that. So here we filled it in. Here on ES are we on the regular trading hours? Yes, we are. For other years, yes. I will try that. So here we filled it in. And here we also filled it in. So then let's have a look at the next day. Wait, yeah, that's the next day right there. We filled it in there on NQ, on ES, and on YM. Then the next day, yeah, here we have an unfilled opening range gap. That's nice. Okay, interesting. We filled it in here. You see? And on YM, we also filled it in. Interesting. Okay, I will still mark them out here. Or no, I will not mark them out on ES and YM if we filled them in there. So okay, that's an unfilled opening range gap. Unfilled here as well, unfilled. So that's interesting because this is exactly what I noticed the last time when I was backtesting this. When we have still unfilled opening range gaps on top, like in this case, then we're more likely to go higher and fill them out instead of filling the one we formed on that day. As you can see here, this is the opening range gap here, and we left a portion open, and on that same day we went higher and we filled out this one, and then on the next day we filled in the higher one. So let's see if it's the same on ES and YM. That's the close here. Alrighty. Okay. Yeah, on all the indices we filled it in completely. That's also interesting to watch. Like YM filled it out right at 9:30 in the first 15 minutes, and on ES we filled it out at 12 a.m. 12 p.m. and on NQ as well we filled it in at 11:30. So maybe that's a good indicator to watch at, like to look at if we have the same unfilled opening range gaps on all the indices, that if one of them already filled that in, like we can see here that the rest of them are also going to follow. Like you can see here, we could have taken a trade right there to fill that out on NQ. The one on NQ is used like an inversion gap, somebody said, supporting price because the target was higher. Maybe if you have 3 gap ranges that might occur, not sure, but it's interesting. Yeah, I think as well, it's very interesting because it is so crazy how correlated they are. Like, yes, every single one of them is doing kind of its own thing and respecting the key levels at like on their own charts, but still, if one of them didn't do anything, like we can see here, we have an unfilled opening range gap here. On top of that, if just one of them has that, all of them are going to follow. It's crazy. Yeah, it's very interesting. But this is what I mean with the freaking precision of these unfilled opening range gaps. Like here we have the next day, and we completely filled in the opening range gap here on all the indices, but then we found even support here. That is insane, because normally when I have the unfilled opening range gaps on my chart and we fill it in on the regular trading hours, I normally delete them on the chart, so I wouldn't have had that unfilled opening range gap on my chart. But even on the next day, we opened up and we exactly found support here at that level of the previous unfilled opening range gap. That's interesting. It also can be because of this high here, so that could be one case, because that is a daily high, maybe, probably. We would have to look on the electronic trading hours, but that's interesting. That's very interesting. And here, the precision, we filled it in to the freaking tick. Like, that is insane. Let's actually have a look at that, if that is really the tick. Like, this candle closed at 25,447.75. How crazy. And the high of this candle is two ticks lower. So it's still unfilled. Like 2 ticks are still unfilled. And then we filled it in here. That's insane. That's insane. But yeah, there's such a big draw for the price. Okay, let's look at the next. Let's look at the next. Yeah, that one got filled. But did we fill it on YM? Yeah, to the tick. Okay. This one we filled in. That one we filled in. This one also. So you see, it's not always the case that we have unfilled opening range gaps. So if we have those, then it's so important to note them and have them on your chart. Like, don't give them 100% emphasis for your bias, but still. Okay, we have filled that one in, that one as well, on ES and YM as well. Okay, here we have the first case where we filled it in on NQ, we filled it in on ES, and we didn't fill it in on YM. It's interesting. So, as you can see here. And that could have been the reason why we went up on the next day. Like, we opened up the next day right here, and then we went higher on all the indices. Probably because of the unfilled opening range gap on YM. That's so good. I'm going to have all of the unfilled opening range gaps from now on my chart, and not only from NQ. Man, this is why I love backtesting, because yes, it is important to forward test. I think it's even more important to forward test and to, interact with price in real time. But those things to discover in backtesting, it's pretty cool to have even more confidence in your bias and in your drawn liquidity and stuff like that, It's great. Okay. Yeah, exactly what you just said. Like, it needs to sync all three before continuing to whatever the next target is. Yeah, it seems like that. That is so interesting. Also here as well, the support we get here, it's crazy, from previous unfilled opening range gaps, even though they're already filled. It's interesting. Okay, let's have a look here. We filled it in on ES, we filled it in on YM, but we didn't fill it in on NQ. Again, here. And then we close this day at 4 p.m. Then we open up, get support right here at a previous unfilled opening range gap. Insane, right? That's insane. And then we fill it in again to the tick. Let's actually delete this one. Let's actually delete all the past ones. Like, we can see now that it even, like, we get even support at those on the previous, but they are a bit disturbing to look at the ones we formed. Yeah. Let's delete them. Okay. We filled that in. So. Okay. Now we have this day right here on all the charts. Okay. Next day, we filled it in. Let's see again if it's to the tick. The close of this one, of this candle, is 25,078.50, and the high is 25,078.75. That is accuracy, guys. That is freaking accuracy. Like, and somebody tell me that the charts is buying and selling pressure when it's to the freaking tick. Like, this is algorithmic price action. That is insane. That is insane. So let's have a look at the next one. We'll delete this one. And I also discovered, like, it's normal that we are doing it most of the time on the next day, especially if we are not in a huge trend on the higher time frames, like on the weekly, if we get a huge drop or a spool to the upside. Like, February was still a month where we, on the higher time frames, consolidated. So like went up, down, up, down, up, down, and then it's pretty nice to have them on your chart for your drawn liquidity. Okay, let's have a look at this one because that is unfilled. That one is unfilled on all the indices. Okay, interesting. Interesting. That's the thing with backtesting. Like, to get up and sit in front of the charts to backtest, like, to even think of that, I don't want to do it. But when you start to do it and then you're right, like, you are in it and you discover crazy things, you kind of get so drawn into it that you don't want to stop. That's good. So there's one right here. All right. Interesting. Filled that in on the next day, and like I already said, it is more likely that we fill in a previous unfilled opening range gap, like in this case from the previous day, rather than filling out the current opening range gap. Yeah. So let's mark that out. Oh, that's insane. We couldn't fill that in on ES, even though we were right before filling that in. You see? Okay, on YM we filled that in, but we didn't fill that opening range gap, that unfilled opening range gap on YM the next day. Okay. So, and here we have the first case where we didn't fill this unfilled opening range gap, and inside of that unfilled opening range gap, we formed a new opening range gap. Okay, interesting. Maybe turn on the 50% line as well. Looks like NQ has resistance there. Let's have a look. Yeah. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And here it looks like it's the quadrant level. Let's have a look. Yeah. Quadrant level. It's amazing. ES also the big gap, I mean. Yeah. Okay. Let's delete this one because we already filled it in so that we're not getting too confused here. So this is still unfilled, unfilled, unfilled. Let's continue and see if we're going to fill those in the future. That's the first instance as well where we yeah, I know for a fact that this one is still to this day unfilled because I still have it on my chart, on my unfilled opening range gaps chart. Yeah. But since it's now already 1 hour, I think we will now go to the drop from last year, February. So I will try it here again with the contract. Like you said, it's not here, right? But if we type it, let's actually try that. So NQM 2025. So it seems like it's not showing. But what did you say? You can open the old contract of that period by typing it in the search. Like it won't show anything, but if you press enter, it will load. Yeah, I already pressed enter and it's not loading. So I guess we will have to go to TradeSeller. But that's not an issue to do that. Yeah. I will go to TradeSeller. Alrighty. I'm very interested in that one, in that case. Because since we are on the higher time frames about to potentially have a huge drop, that is good to know if we like what we are going to do then. Unfilled opening range gap. I'll need a second right here. NQ ES YM. I will share the screen with you in a second. Alrighty. Okay. Now it should work. I'm coming unprepared. I'm sorry, guys. I completely forgot about the contract thing. So okay, you said it loads on yours. That's strange. Enter on your keyboard. No, yeah, I will look at that when I enter stream. But now I already managed to set up to set it up on TradeSeller, so I'll just switch it. I think that's easier for now. So you might not see anything right now. That's normal. That's normal. So now you should see the chart, right? All right. Good. Yeah, now it's perfect. Okay. Sorry for the switch, but that is great now. Let's go to the 15-minute chart on all of the indices. Man, I can't look at charts with red and green candles. Like, I'm so sorry, I just can't. It is so weird. I can remember when I was starting out with trading, I always had the same I have right now, but just not with green, but with blue. And I also had not a white background, I had a black background. That was looking cool, to be honest. But at one point, after I watched so many things from ICT, I thought that if I switched the candle color like ICT has, then my mindset also switch to being a professional trader. Yeah, you just said I knew you would say that. I also don't like those colors. I'm so used to the black and green. Yeah, it's crazy. I think also it's just perfect. Like every other color, it's just not, like, I don't like it. And I also get very confused. Like every indice has a different color. Like ES always has pink, and YM always has yellow, and Q always green. Okay, let's go to 2025, February. Beautiful. So, okay, we have to change that on top here as well. 2025, let's go to, let's say, April. Okay, now we have to change again. So, now it's loading. Let's see. Yeah, if you were in my last live stream, you know that I don't like TradeSeller because it's bucking. And yes, I might have patience in trading, but I don't have patience with TradeSeller. Okay, let's try again. Where are you? Okay, let's try again. I will change it on top here. Maybe it's blocking because of that. Let's go to here. Also, guys, what do you guys use for for backtesting. What software? I'm interested. I'm really interested in that. I never tried anything else, to be honest, other than Tradezilla. So let's start here. So on the 2nd of February, but one thing I want to have a look at, like first of all, we have to change to regular trading hours, of course. But when is the drop? When is the drop happening? Because, okay, I have to go on the 1 hour and on that one again to see when the drop happened. Yeah, because I think it was at the end of February. We might have to go to the end of February. That's not good. That's not good. Man. Yeah. It started at... I should know this from from the previous stream, but I didn't remember. Yeah. At the 21st of February. So let's get to... Yeah, let's get there. Let's get there. The 21st of February. Okay, now we should have it. Regular trading hours, this is on it. Yeah, now regular trading hours. Okay, you just said just trading view pretty much using the old contract if needed. FX Replay is also pretty good. Yes, I heard of FX Replay. You don't have to switch contracts there. Yeah, on Tradezilla it's the same, that you don't have to switch contracts. But I will really try that out after this live stream if I can do it on TradingView. Like look up the old contract. But yeah, let's start. Let's drop down again to the 15-minute time frame though. Yeah, here we are on the 15 already, and here as well. All right. Here we have the first scenario where we left it open, and it seems like we didn't fill it in at all because we dropped from that point on to the downside. So yeah, that's right here. It's interesting. Yeah, and that's the first sign for us to know that we might get a huge drop if we start to leave opening range gaps open. Like in this case, on NQ, we filled it in, but on ES, we couldn't. I have to change the color again. I don't like I don't like when it's not my color. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, that's the first one we left open and we didn't fill it in. Let's have a look at the next days. Okay, this one we filled in. And we didn't manage, like we didn't care at all the next day to even go near to the unfilled opening range gap. yeah, so I guess it's just useful to have them on your chart if you know we're not in a huge trend, in a one-sided trend on the higher time frames. But I'm curious what the next days are telling us. So now here we see, yeah, like I said, NQ filled it in. ES also filled it in, and YM left it open. Unfilled opening range gap again. And the next day, we couldn't care less to fill that in. Yeah. Yeah, and if you look here, if we zoom out, we couldn't fill it in the next days as well. And that was like, this unfilled opening range gap was from the 21st of February, and we traded into that on the 3rd of March. So basically almost 2 weeks later, or 1 week. That is showing us how weak the market was, and overall, if we have weakness again like we do right now, if we see this signature in the market, it's very telling. Okay, so yeah, that's the one here. We filled that in on all the indices. Then the next one is down here. Okay, we left that open. And you see, it kind of prevented the indices to be in sync. Like, we don't have any unfilled opening range gaps, like not the same as we have on YM. This one, unfilled opening range gap, is only on YM, and NQ and ES didn't care, like they didn't care at all to go higher, but YM kind of chopped around. Maybe because of that unfilled opening range gap above us. That is interesting. That is interesting. Okay, let's go there again. Like, that's unfilled on NQ. This one got filled on YM and on ES and on YM as well. Then let's have a look at the next one. All right. Seems like in heavy market conditions like we have right here, we can't fill the unfilled opening range gap, but we get resistance off of them. Cool. That is cool. Okay. As you can see here, we opened up. Oh, wow. I'm on the 5-minute time from here. That's why it's confusing. But hey, I did manage. I did manage it pretty nice so far. But now the charts are more in sync. So, yeah, we filled this one. On ym on ES and on NQ this was the close at 21,188.50. Oh, we didn't fill that in here. One tick. Yeah, but later on we filled it in. Okay. Yeah. What did you mean? As you scroll on the NQ1, the rest will follow? What do you mean with that? Yeah, my brother already told me, like, you know, guys, I'm now trading for 4 years and I still, like, my brother told me the other day that I should watch a TradingView tutorial for certain things. It's embarrassing, guys. It's embarrassing. Am I the only one? I don't know. Okay, we filled that in here. Close. Yeah. Okay, if you have that option turned on in TradingView in the multi-chart layout, when you scroll on one of the split charts, the other charts will move also. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Are you doing that in settings? Or where do you do that? Or with right click, scroll of just move the chart in general, the others will do the same. Yeah, but where do you do it? In settings, or is it here when I right click it? Or maybe here's settings. Canvas. Left of the auto saved. Okay, so okay. Auto saved. You guys are teaching me how to use TradingView. That layout menu, top right. Yeah, like here, auto saved. Maybe save layout. No, I don't know. Or does it work in TradeZilla or only in TradingView? Oh, left. Guys, I'm leaving that. It's embarrassing. I'll do that in private, okay? I'll do that in private. I will watch a TradingView. I will watch a TradingView tutorial. I promise you guys. The next time I'm doing a live stream, I will come prepared, okay? So, you have to be patient with me. Oh, left to where you see autosave. Now I get it what you mean. And now? You're doing great. Thank you. Yeah, I will just leave until you answer. You seem like you know what you're talking about. Okay, let's continue and not get distracted. Okay, now you said time. Okay. I turned it on. I turned it on. But it's not working. You see? It's not working. Too bad. Okay, let's continue. We fill that in here. Then the next one. It should work. Yeah, like that's crazy. Maybe I'll try that later on TradingView. Okay. I'm getting distracted. I'm so sorry for everyone who's watching after that live stream. Well, doesn't matter. Okay. We filled that in completely, but only on NQ and ES, as you can see. Interesting. So that's this day. Then we opened up again here, filled that in on all the indices. And then that's another case, another scenario where it seems like if even one of the indices have an unfilled opening range gap, that we might draw to that and not even fill it out, but get resistance there. That is interesting. Yeah. I'll not do too many more. Wow, I think it's working. You saw that jump? But it's not like it's okay. It's working. Am I right? It's working. Wow. Is that normal? That is like I guess that's not normal. That we're like that it jumps that weird. I will try it on TradingView. I think it's more smooth there. Okay, unfilled opening range gap again. Yes, it's working. Partying. Yeah, for real. Okay. Here we have an unfilled opening range gap on all the indices. This one is not correct. Okay, but now you see again, we don't care at all the next day when we opened up to fill that in. We just continue to form another unfilled opening range gap. So yeah, I guess that is pretty telling, and I think we don't need to know much more. Just be prepared that if we get that drop, that we are not filling them out. Yeah. All right. Are there any questions, guys? Or is there anything else we should look at? Because the stream already goes 1 hour and 20 minutes. I'm glad you're having a blast with me. Guys, I really should do a trading live stream. I will do that in the future when I drop my trading mentorship, because then I want to show you my strategy in the live markets. But before I'm doing that, it doesn't make any sense for you to, replicate what I'm doing in the charts. But yeah, that's going to be very funny. That's going to be very funny. Because maybe sometimes I seem very serious on social media overall, in my videos and on Instagram, but guys, I'm funny. But yeah, it seems like there are not any questions, so I will end the live stream right here. I hope it helped you, and now you know more about opening range gaps, unfilled opening range gaps. I will continue this series, and I have so much more for us to backtest. So many interesting things. You're doing great. Keep it up. Zechariah 4:10. Oh, I really want to know now what Zechariah 4:10 says. I will look at it. Praise God, man. Praise God for the Bible. Zechariah 4:10. For whoever has despised the day of small things shall rejoice and shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel. Amen. Amen. Man, I love the Bible. In 2 days, I'm going to finish the gospel. I already read the whole Bible from front to back, but this is now the second time or the third time. Yeah, the third time of reading the gospel. Yeah, it's amazing. So much wisdom in there. But yeah, I'll end the stream and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow in the pre-market analysis live stream. God bless. Bye bye.